Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gersh1, and today we're going to be talking about the Crimson Fist chapter. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K lore videos every single day. If you have any suggestions for any topics, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoy our content, thank our patrons on Patreon. It's because of them that we can do this. Link in the description if you guys want to support us. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the Crimson Fist recruitment methods. Among all of the successor chapters of the Imperial Fists, the Crimson Fist are held as warriors without peer. Forged in the fire of the most terrible and hopeless battles, the chapter is filled with steadfast and stubborn warriors, reluctant to yield so long as victory is possible. And in order to continue this proud heritage, the chapter has adopted a rigorous set of initiation and training rituals that help weed out the recruits that are too weak for the proud Crimson Fist chapter. Though Rhine's world is the Crimson Fist chapter homeworld, it is not a planet from which they actively recruit. During their millennia as a crusading chapter, the Crimson Fist established a practice of recruiting from many different worlds in the Loki sector. While a few had significant technological bases, the chapter had generally recruited from feral worlds, such as Blackwater, which is situated relatively close to Rhine's world. The natives of this world are renowned for their ferociousness and courage, but they are far from barbarous primitives. They are a noble people, whose lives are a daily struggle against adversity, and it is this stoic nature that makes them such ideal raw material to become Crimson Fist and hold on to the gene seed of the Primarch Rogel Dorn. While aspirants are sometimes taken from other worlds, this practice has become increasingly uncommon. The Crimson Fist have never sought out those who engage in savagery for its own sake. Rather, they seek the most appropriate candidates who are characterized by a combination of honor, athleticism, and stoicism in the face of overwhelming odds. The chapter annually travels to Blackwater to conduct the Festival of the Bloodied Fist. Through the course of this ceremony, aspirants are subjected to a battery of trials that are used to evaluate their martial, mental, and spiritual prowess. Few of those who attempt the trial make it to the later stages. For those who do, the final stage requires a worthy aspirant to travel deep into the planet's toxic swamps and kill a barbed dragon with his bare hands. Each year, there are a few who manage to complete this brutal challenge. However, those who survive are far from becoming true battle brothers. Their success does not guarantee their survival through gene seed implantation and the other rigors of recruitment. Failed aspirants, primarily those whose bodies prove to be too weak to accept the chapter's gene seed and the Astarte implants, become chapter serfs. Once recruited, a Crimson Fist neophyte will serve in the chapter's 10th company as a scout marine, where his training will continue based on the dictates of the Codex Astarte. The core tactics ingrained in the neophytes come from the Codex, effectively making use of different standard units in the manner that the Sacred Tome describes. Their training is broad and all-encompassing, so that the chapter can effectively counter opponents who use vastly different tactical approaches to battle. In this way, the Crimson Fist quickly adapt their tactics to defeat any who would oppose the will of the Imperium. There is one unique variance in the Crimson Fist training pertaining to the enemies the chapter has faced throughout its long history. While the chapter has served throughout the entire galaxy, they have made the Loki sector their primary base of operations. As this sector has been dominated by orcs since humanity first encountered this region, the Crimson Fist have engaged in countless wars with this savage xeno-beast. Though the chapter is not specifically devoted to overcoming this foe, the chapter's battle brothers are well versed in orc psyche, physiology, and tactics. The near constant supply of orc warbands in the region makes this training necessary and profoundly useful. As this ability has become associated with the chapter, the Adeptus Administratum and even the Inquisitorial Ordo Xenos has often requested assistance from the Crimson Fist when significant orc forces gather throughout the Imperium. This translates into the neophyte's training, as it is common practice for a scout marine to enter hand-to-hand combat with a captured orc. The beast's brutal strength must be used against itself, otherwise the unarmed and armored Astarte will inevitably be overpowered. The neophyte also learns one of the most important lessons, and that is to never underestimate your rival. Because the chapter has faced off against numerous and unrelenting orc hordes for most of its existence, the chapter's history is filled with legends of Crimson Fist battle brothers fighting to the last man against the Greenskins. The chapter's inherent gene seed flaw haunts every single battle brother because of this. Like all chapters that come from Rogel Dorn, the Crimson Fist consider that the only righteous path lies in the expenditure of their lives for their purpose, and will face death with a stoic heart and a single-mindedness that can only lead to the complete annihilation of everything and everyone a battle brother faces. often including himself and those that fight beside him. When the chapter's genetic curse manifests itself in the affected battle brother, it comes on in 3 stages. The first stage is the battle brother's stubborn refusal to retreat, seeing only the glory and honor in defeating such overwhelming foes, if even the barest glimmer of victory remains. If the doctrines and teachings of the Codex Astartes dictate retreat or a flexible defense, the battle brother will be loath to disengage until there is absolutely no choice, though sometimes that's too late. The second stage is when the battle brother accepts that he would rather die fighting than accept a retreat. This can lead to reckless behavior as he throws himself into the fray or takes on excessive odds to win, when prudence and tactical reason could dictate a simple withdrawal. Finally, the third stage, when the battle brother gives up his own life and goes into battle believing that he could secure victory. This can have dire consequences should the circumstances present him with a chance to martyr himself for the Emperor and bring ruin to the enemies of the Imperium. Should a battle brother suffer mortal wounds, he gains a fatalistic desire to sell his life for the cause, and would choose to expend his own life for a chance at victory or the safety of his battle brothers. This means he will fight on regardless of his wounds, and continue to attack or place himself in a path of an attack, even though the next blow could end his life. He will also gladly accept suicidal or near-suicidal tasks, such as disarming unstable warheads or holding a breach to buy time for his companions. Because of this, neophytes are trained to be vigilant of this mental flaw, but are also taught that true honor can only lie in death, and it is up to them to maneuver through this fine line between a righteous death and a stubborn death. Crimson Fist Scout Marines are also trained in their progenitor's specialized method of warfare, the art of the siege. Just like the Imperial Fist, the Crimson Fist are immovable in the defense, and their mastery of scientific aspects of war make them extremely powerful when holding on to a fortified position. They are also trained to identify weak points in an enemy defense, and through relentless application of force, reduce them to ruins. It's also important to note that Crimson Fist Scouts are always under scrutiny from their chaplain and scout sergeants. Should a neophyte fail the chapter, regardless of how far they've come on their journey to become a full-fledged battle brother, the chapter will not hesitate to fail the neophyte. Such was the case for Scout Janus Kennan, a young and impetuous scout marine, but an absolutely good shot with his sniper rifle. He had the best accuracy of any recruit for over 100 standard years. However, his lack of discipline resulted in the loss of many battle brothers, including Captain Draken, when he disobeyed orders to take a shot at the orc warlord Uzgog Magkul. The shot never penetrated the warlord's force field, and as a result of this disastrous action, Scout Kennan was sentenced to become a servitor. For those Crimson Fist Scout Marines that are worthy of becoming a full-fledged battle brother, the next step on the road to greatness is a ritual known as the steeping, where the scout submerges his left fist into the blood of one of his kills. The ritual reflects the right of the new Astarte to wear the crimson gauntlet that is the namesake of the chapter over his left fist. And those were 40 facts on the Crimson Fist recruitment. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any suggestions for other Space Marine chapters that you guys would like to know more about, let me know in the comment section below. If you're interested in the process of becoming a Space Marine, check out our 40 facts on the chapter homeworld, the recruitment process, the trials, all that kind of good stuff. I'll link all those videos at the top of this video. If not, I'll probably create a playlist. This is a topic that I find really interesting, so I've created a lot of videos. A lot of them have been just going back and giving you guys more details as to how a Space Marine becomes or how a human becomes a Space Marine. So thanks for listening, guys. If you guys want to support us, link in the description to our Patreon. It's just $1 a month. With that $1, we can create more videos for you guys. As I've been telling you guys for a couple days now, I'm working on a new vlog series. I don't know if I'm going to put it on this channel or if I'm going to create its own separate channel, because it is more like hobby-esque. But we'll see what happens, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for all the support, thanks for all the positive comments, and talk to you tomorrow. This is Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.
Oh, I used to put my